Not
Oh,
yet.
we're live.
Yes, we are now.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. It is Tina and Tiffany here together for our final session today in the Virtually Successful Summit. My goodness, I can't imagine we're already here. This is amazing. So just to give you a little lay of the land of sorts for what we're going to be focusing on here today, the intent of our session is basically to help you in that space of, all right, now what? Now what? Because as I'm sure you can appreciate and understand, we are all about getting stuff done. We are all the implementers. Woohoo! It's a thing we all have in common. High five, virtual high five to the implementers here. So our intent with the session today is really to give you a wrap-up session, to give you some really clear next steps. And Tiffany, of course, is going to be jumping in to help with that a little bit later here. I'll officially, many of you would have already seen my interview and been introduced to Tiffany already here through the summit. She's joining me officially today on this final call. So she's going to be leading us through some really specific next 3 steps and all of that fun stuff here today. But before we do that, a couple of other things too. I have a very special invite for you today, and we have to do our draw. Yay, our draw. Now, I am coming to you actually from Washington, D.C., of all places. Given that I'm Canadian, I'm actually not in Canada today. I'm actually in Washington, D.C. And so if for some strange reason I disappear, as you may be able to tell, I'm in a hotel room. Not my normal background here today, but looks like techie-wise everything's A-okay, and we should be sticking together, no problem here. But if I do disappear for some reason, Tiffany's here. Don't worry. And likewise, I'll find my way back. So I just wanted to throw that in as a quick caveat, though, because you never know when you're on hotel internet what might happen. So what I'm really excited about here today is there's something I really want to bring to the table and that I really want to honor for everyone here today. I actually have a special invite for those of you as well, too, who are looking to continue the journey of this summit and of this connection. I'm seeing some comments even here today with the past 2 weeks have been amazing, that all of the comments and the ahas and everything that all of you have been posting through social media and with all the videos and with all the interviews that we've been doing, it's been really, really amazing to see. And I have to tell you, it's been really, it's kind of lit a fire a little bit within, for myself, for Tiffany, within our company. We've sort of, this experience of the summit has really lit a little bit of a fire again for us, in the sense that we love the work that you do as implementers. As you know, with the heart of my business, the heart of me personally, the heart of everyone on the team, is to be an implementer, and we know and understand and love this industry, have come from it ourselves, worked in it ourselves for years. And Tiffany and I, in particular, over the past, we're kind of thinking about it over the past couple of months, but then it really solidified for us in these past 2 weeks, is that we really wanted to bring something to life for all of you to continue this journey with us. I think one of my favorite comments, and you would have seen this in the video that just came in, or that we just did one of the last sessions we did with Michael Port, and sorry, I need to just checking with that. One of the last videos we did with Michael Port, which I saw a number of you comment on as well. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite takeaways of the entire summit. Was I very purposely interviewed Michael Port and brought him in. And if you haven't watched that yet, you have to watch that interview. Mandatory in my opinion. All of them are, really, but mandatory too, because I very purposely invited Michael Port to come in and speak to you from the place of your clients. So that you know how your clients think and what they want and need. And one of the most amazing things that he said, which I think is so bang on true, is the fact that your clients need you, the implementer, more than you need them. And I know a number of you commented on that already through social media as well, that really hit home for you. I really want you to take and absorb and understand what that means. And when we're looking at the industry at large, and of course I shared a little bit of my story and background in the first call, in our kickoff call. I've essentially worked in this industry. I've worked in the virtual support industry. I've worked with clients mainly in the coaching, consulting, speaker, author, trainer world. I've been in all this stuff now for 15 years, since 1999. And I will tell you that the best opportunity that's available out there, some of the highest need that people want to pay good money for is strong people who are going to get stuff done for them. They want to hire the implementers. They want to hire people like you who are really in it, and you're committed, and you're there, and you're building this business, as we talked about in our kickoff session, knowing what you want based on your desire, based on your brilliance, and bringing that together in a way that is very much going to serve your clients and serve you. You know, if it's not the two equal, then it's an issue. And I love when Michael said that this, you know, your clients need you more than you need them. People are hungry for your services, and it doesn't matter what your area of expertise is. You might be a virtual assistant, you might be an online business manager, you might be a copywriter, you might be a graphic designer, you might be a web designer, you might be a social media person, you might be a bookkeeper. As long as you get stuff done for your clients, and we talk about this idea of strategy and implementation. Those are the two things that are needed for any business to be successful. And as long as you function on the side of being an implementer, being somebody who gets stuff done, there is no shortage of businesses who want and need to hire you. And so Tiffany and I are really excited. I want to share with you a little bit and give you an invitation. And we already had this, we kind of dropped a little hint about this in our first session too, right? But I want to give you a little bit of information about something we're really excited to invite you to join us in, and this is the Implementers Club. We are, after, it's been a number of years now since for the past few years, we've been really focused on our OBM community, and we'll continue to do that. I mean, training and certifying our OBMs, our online business managers, love that. That's always going to be a huge part of where we focus our time and energy. But likewise, too, I have to tell you, it's kind of been a few years since we've expanded the connection and expanded the way that we're connecting with other professionals in the community. And so what the Implementers Club is it's a place for you to really own the fact that you are amazing, to own your brilliance, and to bring that to the table in a way that's going to allow you to create what you want for yourself and serve your clients at the highest level. I have to tell you, there's a little bit of a, I mean, I'll say pet peeve, not to be overly harsh or negative about it, right? But I'll share a little bit of a part of a pet peeve of mine that I've seen in the industry, in particular the past few years, and that is when I see some of you, these amazing implementers, people doing amazing work out there, you're going out and you're looking for support, you're looking for a coach, you're looking for mentorship, you're looking for guidance, and quite honestly, I've seen some of you getting what I believe to be incorrect advice for who you are and for what you need. Now, when people come to me and they ask me, you know, Tina, how do I know who I should hire as a coach? Or how do I know who I should learn from? What kind of training should I take? What kind of support should I get? In particular, when it comes to growing your business and really building what you want or taking your existing business to the next level, I'm a huge fan of the fact that you need to go and work with people who have been where you've been. They get who you are. They get your business model. They get the fact that you're an implementer. And that they know and understand what it is you're creating. One of my pet peeves in the industry, in kind of the world of coaching, if you will, for a number of years, has been the fact that I've seen implementers go and work with amazing coaches who do amazing work, and they have their brilliance, and they're working in their brilliance and bringing that to the table, but they're turning around and supporting some of you, supporting some people you know, supporting people in our implementation community in a way that I believe is not actually that supportive. Simply because they don't get what it is to be an implementer. They don't get what it is to work this way with clients. They don't get what your business model is. They don't get this whole thing. They haven't been there themselves. They haven't gone that path themselves. And so they're coming at it from a bit of a different direction that may not fit with who you are and where you want to go. And I'm a huge fan when people ask me, you know, where should I look for support? Where should I look for guidance? Is look to people who get who you are, they know it, they understand it, they've been there themselves, and they can help you. Specifically, it's sort of like you get to walk the path that they've walked in various different ways. And so this is really what sparked our Implementers Club, and for us to bring this to life, because it came from this place of how can we continue to serve all of you in a way that is going to give you what you need, is going to give you what it is that you're looking for to take your business to the next level, and that's going to bring all of us together as a community. So it's not just about being a VA, it's not just about being an OBM, it's not just about being a copywriter or whatever. It's sort of like there's this fragmentation that has happened in some ways. It's about coming together in this space of We are the implementers. We get stuff done, right? And being able to really step up and lead from within, really being able to step up and own your brilliance, really being able to step up and bring all of that to the table. So very excited to bring this to the table, you guys, today. I want to tell you a little bit about this. We're not going to get into huge depth, but I do want to extend an invitation to you today to become a founding member of the Implementers Club. Now, I want to share with you my intent here. My intent with the Implementers Club, the why that we've created it is, of course, a little bit of my pet peeve that I shared with you. But the other side of that pet peeve is when I know you're getting the right support, the right guidance, when I know that you have honed in on what you're great at and you're able to let go of the rest and you're really purposeful and focused, then you're going to be able to step up in a whole new way in your business. It doesn't matter if you're in the startup stage or further along. The Implementers Club is not about what stage of growth are you at in your business. It's about the fact that you're an implementer. It's about being a part of a community of peers who are playing at a higher level. People who are committed, people who are in, people who are there, people who are there with you and who get it and understand. I think we talked about that. I can't remember if it was Kickstart, the first session or one of the interviews, where we really can't look to just like our friends and family and all of that for support. They don't get what you're doing. In some cases they might, but we really need to look for business support from people who get and understand who we are, from mentors and peers. And that's a big part of why we wanted to bring the Implementers Club together. And also, too, quite honestly, I get tired of people, other types of business owners, other types of entrepreneurs, the people who want and need to hire you, maybe coaches, speaker, author, trainers, or different people depending on your market, who you like to work with. When they come to me and tell me that they can't find anybody good out there, I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. That is so not true. It's simply not true. When somebody comes to me and says, there's nobody good out there to do this work, I can't find anybody who can help me out with this, I just know that that's not true. But all that means is the fact that there's a disconnect of some kind going on. There's a disconnect between the people who want and need to hire you, and there's a disconnect between connecting with them the right way so that it gets to come together in a really, really amazing fashion. And a big part of my vision for the Implementers Club is that we get to decide to change that together as a community. We get to step it up and say, here we are, and here's how we can help you. Of course, we talked about that a lot in the first session, right? Here's how I can help you, owning your brilliance, stepping up, leading the way. When we get to own that as a community, when we get to own that at large together as a group, that's amazingly powerful. And that's the stuff that is going to shift and change your business. That's the stuff that's going to take you to the next level. Those of you who've been in business for a while now and you're kind of wondering, what's next? What's next? I have no idea. I get it. You're meant to continue to grow and expand. Even if you're just getting started, that's awesome. It's all fun and new. But even at every stage along the way, you're meant to continue to grow and expand. And the opportunities for you to grow and expand, whether it's team-based business or specializing or various types of things, there's all sorts of ways that you can do that on your journey as an implementer, and that you get to continue to do it without thinking you have to become something else other than who you are. At the end of the day, myself, Tiffany, everyone in our community, everyone in our business, we are here to celebrate who you are. We are here to celebrate and honor the gifts and the brilliance you bring to the table already. We're not here to try to fit you in some other mold. What is that, square peg in a round hole thing or whatever? We're here to celebrate who you are and to really honor that and allow you to create a space where you can create the best business around that. So I'll tell you really quickly about the Implementers Club, and then we're going to get into our draws. And then I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany. Woohoo! No end to the fun here today. So what the Implementers Club is, it's actually a 12-month program. And when we talk about being a founding member, we have 100 spots available for you as a founding member. What does it mean to be a founding member? It literally means you're in the beginning. You get to join us from the beginning. You get to play a really key part and role in becoming a part of this vision that we're talking about here. You get to be a key part of really stepping up, not only for your own business, but being a part of stepping up for the community at large and taking a stand for what it is to be who you are and to do the amazing work that you get to do. You're going to get a lower rate than people will get in the future, and I'll mention the pricing and all of that a little bit later here. But of course, for those of you who want to jump in and join us early and kind of be with us right out the charge, we love to be able to work with you directly in that way. What we're going to do is it's a 12-month program. So it's a 12-month commitment. It's a 12-month journey. Now, you will be amazed at what you can accomplish in 12 months. And some of you may choose to join us for years, quite honestly. That's our big picture vision and intent with the club, is that it's some place that you're going to want to stick around in. It's a mix of really giving you support as well as training and guidance and empowering you and equipping you to do what you need to do. Again, it's this idea of learning from people like myself, like Tiffany. Other people will bring into the mix along the way, other experts, other people who get this journey because they've been there. That's who I want you to learn from. That's who I want you to get your answers from. That's who I want you connected to. So you're not left out there trying to figure things out on your own. We're going to have weekly lessons as part of the Implementers Club. They will be short and sweet. They are going to be 52 lessons, basically one a week, in the 10 to 15 minute range, that are really going to focus on some of the key areas that you need to work on in your business. And again, regardless of what space you're at in your business, there's always a place of being able to, as we like to say, kind of lather, rinse, repeat things in some cases. We're going to be looking at business planning, pricing, packaging, raising rates, creating a team-based business if you go that route, or specializing, playing the money game, who's your ideal client, websites, social media, responding to RFPs, networking, sales conversations, how to have them and make them be fun, because they actually can be. How to get clients to say yes on the first call. What do you do when they come up with objections? How do you follow up with people? How do you run your business? How do you get paid? How do you manage multiple clients? How do you measure success? How do you set expectations? What should the first 90 days look like with your client? What is the intake process of starting to work with a new client? What is the creating confidence and ownership and working with team, hiring your own team, systems, tools? But basically, my head will explode if I tell you every single one of them. Although, our intent, we could probably create 280 lessons and not just 52. Don't worry, we're going to continue on. But our intent here is literally to give you the tactical how-tos. I want to be very clear here. The Implementers Club is not a place for fluff. It's not a place for theory. It's not a place for just go and figure it out on your own. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. That's not what it is to be an implementer, and that certainly is not something that that's not what I take a stand on. We're here to give that really purposeful mix of tactical support along with connection and community. So as being a member of our Implementers Club, we have what we call our Club Connect. This is where you're going to connect weekly on your weekly lessons. You can connect with your fellow implementers. You can check in with people when you have challenges or questions, and when you have celebrations. I want to build in the habit. I want to create an environment where we're celebrating everything that we create along the way. This is also our Club Connect, our online community, is where you get to receive direct support from myself, from Tiffany, from other members of the community. You get me, not like a pretend me, me, Tiffany, who of course is going to jump in here later, and Tiffany brings her own brilliance to the table as well. We're there to support you. We literally wanted to be able to structure this in a way that we're able to give you direct support. We're going to have a monthly live webinar, what we decided to call our TNT webinar. TNT, Tina and Tiffany, right? We're dynamite. We might even create a song. I don't know. Don't worry. Maybe we won't go there. But the webinar is going to be a live webinar, kind of a off the streets, hot topic, what's really going on, what's coming up for everybody, in the moment, kind of on demand, training and advice and support that we're going to bring to the table each and every month. So sort of like the continuance of what we've done in the summit here with our interviews and conversations and such, we're going to bring that to the table each and every month. You are going to also get a featured profile in our brand new directory. So one of my other objectives, the other part of my vision for the Implementers Club, is that we become the resource, the place that people turn to, that these business owners turn to when they want and need to hire you. When they're sitting there going, where do I find somebody who can do techie stuff? Where do I find somebody who can do the social media for me? Where am I going to find an OBM? Where am I going to find a copywriter? My objective is to build the Implementers Club and to be able to feature each and every one of you who is in there in a way when people say to me, Tina, where do I find someone? I'm like, you go right here, and these people are a part of my club, so I know they get what it is to serve you at the level that you need. They own their brilliance. They know what they're bringing to the table. They are ready to rock the house. And I am beyond thrilled to be able to build that into the Implementers Club, where we're going to point people to you. You're going to be featured in the directory. You're also going to have the opportunity to have potential clients land in your inbox. We're going to be building our RFP system where people can post their post their needs and what they're looking for right away. You can connect directly with them, et cetera, right? So potential clients landing in your inbox. Now, something you may or may not know about me already, but I know a lot of people out there. I'm very connected to a lot of people out there, and once we have the club rolling, once we have our directory and everybody is ready to roll, my intent is in the new year to be very purposely going out and saying to some very notable people in our community, some very notable people who not only need to hire for themselves, but they have their own programs and they have their own clients who want and need to hire you. And I'm going to be going to them and saying, all right, when you need somebody, you or anyone, any of your clients, anybody you know needs someone, you need to check out this club. And they will be lining up to do so because they're hungry for that. They're desperate for that right now. And so I want these people to like literally be able to land on your doorstep, so to speak, as a part of this community. We're also looking at setting up some discounts, a few different goodies and bonuses and such as well too. I want to be very purposeful or very clear too that the Implementers Club is about you and your business and serving clients at the highest level. It's not a specific skills-based training. So I mean, we're not going to teach you how to use WordPress. We're not going to teach you how to use Infusionsoft, right? We're not going to teach you how to do specific skills, but we are going to be partnering with people who do teach those training programs and getting some really some special pricing and whatnot, some member-only pricing for those of you who are looking for those skills. Because there's amazing people out there who teach amazing programs and can help you with the various things you want and need to learn along the way. These are people that I know. Anyone who we connect with there is going to be someone I know, like, and trust, so I know their stuff is good, and we're going to look to get you some good pricing and options for that there as well, too. So here's the scoop. This is a year-long commitment. I want to be very clear here. The Influencers Club is for you when you know you're in it for the long haul. Even if you're sitting here a little bit maybe shaking in your boots going, yikes, I don't know, eek, it's, you know, my business, I want to create this, but I'm still, all the more reason you need to be there. Because it really is about creating a container for success for yourself. A container for success. Things can happen quickly in your business, but success does not happen overnight, and it's also a long-term play. We very purposely put this together, and Tiffany and I talked about this in depth. You know, what kind of commitment are we looking for here? We're looking for those of you, and we want to be committed. We want you to commit to a year because we're committing to you for a year, and then some, right? We're committed to you as much as you would be committed to us. So this isn't just a jump in, I don't know, see you later sort of scenario. I mean, that's not the environment we want to create here. This is when you know you're in and you're ready to rock and roll, and we're right there with you. You know, when we talk about a commitment, anytime there's a commitment, it's a two-way street. So the one-year commitment is as much on our shoulders as it would be in yours in that sense. It's a commitment that comes from both ways. So what does it mean to be a founding member? Again, we have 100 spots available for being a founding member. There's a couple of ways that you can join. There's a couple of options for how to pay. The regular price of this program being the regular price of the club being really a good mix of training and support and mentorship and online coaching and all of that. The regular price is going to be $197 a month or $1997 for the year. That's going to be the regular price after our founding member piece is done. As a founding member, you can join us for $97 a month or $997 for the year, or there's a quarterly option as well too if you want to pay every 3 months. Whatever works for you, whatever works best for you payment schedule-wise, that's what we want to do. Because here's the other side of this too. This is not a program that's costing you hundreds or thousands of dollars a month. It's not. You know, I know you. I know and understand your business. And you may not be in this space where you're ready or you want to invest at a much higher level. You know, if you want to work with us at a higher level at some point, that's an option. But this club is meant to be for everybody to connect. And it's priced very purposely in a way that we know is doable, that we know is going to be, you're engaged, you're committed, but it's also not breaking the bank for you, so to speak, compared to other types of programs and options that are out there. When you're ready for more or you're looking for more, there's always the option for that, be it with us or somebody else. But the Implementers Club is really about the community. Now, the $97 a month as a founding member, or the $997 a year, whatever it is you choose to join us at, that's a lifetime thing. So you could stay for 1 year, you could stay for 5 years, 10 years. Oh, we're going pretty far down the road. I don't know if I can think 10 years ahead. As long as you stay, that will be your rate. We will never raise the price on you. When you're a founding member and you're with us from day one, that's something really meaningful. That's something really powerful to come together as a group and be a part of that. And so your $97 rate, your founding member rate, will be the same regardless of whatever the heck the price turns into down the road. It's going to be $197, we know that for sure, $197 a month or $19.97 for the year after these 100 spots are gone. After that, it could go up again too. It really could. You know, as we continue to build and expand this, prices will probably change over time. Your price never will. Woohoo! So hey, gotta love that too. As long as you're in the club. As long as you're in the club, you keep that same price until if or when you chose not to be part of the community anymore, which of course is A-okay. So what I want to do, I'm going to pop over to, I just want to give you guys a link to a page. So if you go to implementersclub.com/join, that is a page. There's no videos that are going to play there. There's no, hang on. That's going to kind of pop up and interrupt what we're doing here together in the moment. That'll give you an outline of what I just talked about here. You can join the club right then and there. Those of you who are here with us live today are the very first people to hear about this. There's no one else who's ever seen or heard about this yet outside of our team. And we're going to be starting to reach out to some other people in the next, in the next few days and weeks. So if you know this is for you, you'll want to hop in quickly to make sure you get one of those founding spots. Implementersclub.com/join. Join. Woohoo! All right. So I want to do a couple of draws. Then I'm turning the tables over to Tiffany here. Turning the tables over to Tiffany. We are talking about the Implementers Club. You know that we got to give a couple of spots away. And we've had over, I think it's about 1,100 and some odd comments and shares and takeaways from all of you in the past couple of weeks together. I have to tell you, it's been an absolute blast and honor to connect with all of you online. I love to see the community. It's really this great precursor to what we want to continue to have happen through the club too, right? Is this community and connection and supporting each other and all of that kind of stuff. It's so amazing because I've really seen the power of that again too, just in the past couple of weeks of being able to connect with all of you. We always say that being a virtual support professional, being an implementer, it's kind of a solo activity, but that doesn't mean you have to do it alone. And we've really proven and seen that, and it's been so great to connect with all of you this way over the past couple of weeks. And so we've had over 1,100 posts and comments and all kinds of things. We did a draw, and we did it right before we hopped on the call here. So as long as you were posting and commenting up until before we started our session today, your name was entered in the draw. So Martha, our first one, which is for a 1 year in the club. 1 year in the club, founding member, no price for you. You get to join us, Martha Gerber Communications, which I assume is for Martha. I'm assuming that's your name, Martha, when we say that, right? My team will reach out to you individually, so if this is you and you're here and you want to say woohoo and like pop something in the, and pop something in the chat, that's great. But we will reach out to you. You don't need to, we're not putting anything on your plate there. My team will reach out, let you know your next steps for that. So we got Martha Gerber Communications going to be joining us in the club. Yay, Martha! Second person joining us in the club, Cindy Legat. Legate or Legat? I hope I'm saying that right. So we're giving away 2 spots there in the club. This is a full 1 year, so it's a $9.97 value as a founding member. It'll be a more of a value as a non-founding member after the fact, right? So you're going to be joining us in the club again. Martha Gerber, Cindy Legat. Woohoo! Let's give virtual high fives and whoop whoop for them. All right, our second draw. The spa certificate, the treating yourself. Treating yourself. We know you don't do this as often as you could. I fall into that category too. We all do, kind of based on who we are. We tend to focus so much on supporting other people that we don't always support ourselves and really kind of treat ourselves from time to time. So we are giving you, for this second winner, a $200 spa certificate. Now, this can be used wherever you like. It can be used locally, where you live. It can be used, if you go on a trip and you decide to use it there. You just need to tell us where it is, and we'll arrange to get you a $200 gift certificate to the spa of your choice. And that can treat you pretty good. You could get massages, facials, mani-pedi, who knows, whatever you like you get to do, as long as you're treating yourself. That's our only requirement. The winner of that is Liz Applegate. Liz Applegate. I don't know why I feel like I have to sing everybody's name after you win. We should have had like the drum roll. Woohoo! Liz Applegate wins the spa retreat and package. So that's awesome, Liz. And then you have to like take a picture of you, you know, like relaxing or whatever, and send that to everyone here in the group in the club. So the gift card, we also have a $100 gift card from Amazon. And I know I can geek out on Amazon, buying books, buying who knows what. I think you could pretty much fill your entire household from Amazon these days, everything in the kitchen sink. So we're giving a $100 gift card to Amazon as our third winner today, and that is for Octavia Paul. Octavia, yay! Whoop, whoop. You get the gift card, the $100 gift card. So again, just to let everyone know too, the way that we chose our winners, this is kind of fun if you ever do this yourself with clients or for another type project. We counted everybody, we put everybody on a list with a number beside their name, and we went to random.org to choose the winners. So random.org is a really simple, fun site where you put in from 1 to 1100, and it'll randomly generate numbers. So that's how we chose our winners. That's how we chose our winners here today. Again, Martha Gerber and Cindy Legate, or Legate, I hope I'm saying your name right, Cindy. You get to join us in the club. Your first year as a founding member is free. You're joining us there. Liz Applegate is going to the spa. Awesome. And then Octavia Paul is going to be getting a $100 gift card to use as you will. Geek out on Amazon. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right. I'm going to turn the tables over to Miss Tiffany. Now, one thing before I say this, I know, of course, many of you, if you hadn't met Tiffany before the summit, you would have met her during the summit through the session that Tiffany and I did together through our interview. And Tiffany really is, as we like to say, actually, we were joking before we hopped on today that we're at the point where we basically look the same, right? I mean, we've worked together so long. We joke that we like to share a brain in some cases, and you know, and as you'll see from Tiffany's smiling face here in our session here today, I mean, we quite honestly end up looking alike half the time. It's pretty funny. But Tiffany and I work very closely together, not only for the business, not only for everything that we do here at Tina Forsyth Companies. She's also going to be a very key prominent feature, if you will, one of the leading mentors, one of the leading experts here in our Implementers Club. And so you're going to see and hear and learn a lot from Tiffany. Now, of course, those of you who don't know Tiffany, she's been in the virtual support industry, I want to say 8 years, Tiffany. I could be a little off on that. You know, she's been around a while. Let's put it that way. She's been around in this industry for a long time, and she has done everything she's run the gamut, right? From stay-at-home mom, had never been in the work world, so to speak, and especially in this online business world in any way, shape, or form. She started there, to virtual assistant, through to business, you know, becoming an OBM, training and mentoring your OBMs, helping run various 6- and 7-figure businesses over the years. She's literally run the gamut A to Z. And so if there's any lesson to be learned, any challenge to be experienced between Tiffany and myself, you better believe we've experienced it. You know, and the two of us together are beyond excited to really bring and lead the club with you and be a part of that journey. And so I want to turn this over to Tiffany here now, because we're going to get into what we really want to be purposeful with you here today is that we've had this summit. We've had these 2 weeks together. Now, what? Right? I mean, in some ways it can feel like, oh, the party's over. What do I do? You know, we want you to know, and we talked about the worksheet in the beginning for you to start to work through some things, hone in on your brilliance and all of that. Now what do you do with all of this stuff, with everything that you've learned? How can you take what are the next 3 steps, if you will? What are 3 ways that you can take everything you've been learning and start to bring that to life in the next few days? Because again, we're implementers. If we're not taking and making something happen here, we're not doing something with this, then we ain't doing our job. So, away we go, Tiffany. I'm going to mute myself.
Right. Tina is going to mute herself for a little while. Awesome. So the floor is mine. Fantastic. I am really excited to go over some action steps with us today and really look at what is it going to take to bring the build it, the believe it, the build it, and the bring it to the table, right? So, but before we do that, I wanted to just have a quick celebration. I wanted to have a quick celebration of what these 2 weeks have been, right? Because how exciting has it been to hear from these speakers? And honestly, they brought their A game to the table for us, didn't they? For the implementers, you know, some of these folks they're not implementers. Some of these folks don't work with implementers. They weren't really gaining anything by coming to the table and sharing their expertise, but yet You know, they did, and they brought their A game to the table, and I just want to say what a great experience this has been. It's been a great experience for me, and obviously with 1,100 posts for the summit, it's been a great experience for, you know, many of you. And I wanted to take just a couple of minutes and kind of go through some of my favorite posts that we've received in what people are saying about what has really landed for them, right? Because what we want to talk about today is what has landed for you in the course of the summit, and what the heck are you going to do with it, right? Are you going to do anything with it? And if you are going to do something with it, how are you going to ensure you're going to be successful? So just a couple I've kind of printed out a few here of people who've left comments, and I wanted to go through those comments right quick. Sherry Prest Herman, she wrote, I really enjoyed the session. She's talking about Bob the teacher, and she says, I really enjoyed the session, especially when Bob encouraged us to take action and revise later. Often I let perfection stop me in my tracks. Not good. He also got me considering my boundaries and whether I'm off to a good boundaries or bad boundaries. You know, I love that particular takeaway of I'm not going to let perfection stop me. Right? It's more important that we get it done and get it started than it is that we get stuck in that place of perfection. So I love this takeaway. And if that's one of your takeaways, then, you know, be purposeful with that. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Crystal Coleman said for Michelle PW, her takeaway was direct response copywriting is a conversation. It's a conversation. And you may be thinking, well, I don't do copywriting. Well, if you have a website, and you're talking to potential clients via your own personal website or via your own personal social media experience, well, then yeah, you are writing copy. And you need to look at it as that conversation. So I love that takeaway. If you're not starting with the pain, you're missing part of the conversation, right? If you don't start with the pain. Lara Nottenberg, I just totally messed up your name, Lara. Naberding says, I learned an awesome strategy at the summit about stair-stepping several product launches strategies over time to maximize revenue for your program, service, or product. Very cool, with Kim DeYoung. So she's, you know, taking that away. That's a huge strategy to take away. When you are supporting business owners with launches and you can really see what it takes to do that stair-stepping, wow. Wow. And what happens if you have that knowledge and you just let it sit in your brain and you never implement it? How frustrating is that? How frustrating. So I love that was her takeaway. Rose Mills had for Donna Cravato that, Donna, this was such an excellent presentation. Big takeaway was adding a research service to what I do already would be easy, fun, and profitable for both clients and myself. Just love how you do social media. So she found something that was very unique to her. She's a researcher, adding that to her product service. What if she doesn't do that? What if she has that takeaway of, yes, clients need this, yes, I could offer this, but then never establishing it? That would be a bummer. That would be a complete bummer. So, you know, Rose, we're going to give you some steps here today to make sure that you establish this in your business. For Chelsea Burler, Lucinda Legate said, a team-based business takes time to build and has to be nurtured. A manager works on the to-do list of who needs to do what, and a leader will guide people in conversation talking about the breadth of the to-dos. Wow, the difference between a manager and a leader when you're looking at building a team-based business. If you will let what that takeaway is really sink in, it will dramatically change everything in the way that you set up, construct, and build your business as a team-based business model. The difference between leading and managing is so powerful. So I love that takeaway. That was awesome. And then we have Jessie Morwood for my session. She says, oh my God, thank you, Tiffany. Lots of hugs. I needed to hear that nobody is going to value you if you don't value yourself. This is so true in life and relationships, not just in business. Thank you so much for a great aha. Well, of course, we've got to value ourselves and we've got to put that out there, but what if we don't? What if you hear that, but then the next time you're talking to a client, the next time you're having a sales conversation, you still come to the table with this, I'm not real sure if I can support you, I'm not real sure what I can do for you kind of mentality, and you're not really taking ownership of the value that you bring, right? We don't want that. We want to ensure that you are going to step in and take ownership of that value. Pam Blackman put for Alexis Neely, it was so cool to learn about the different archetypes and understanding that. Just because I'm behind the scenes, I'm still uber valuable. Love that word, uber. Thanks, Alexis. Bent over backwards to get to your session, even though I had to get it on a replay. Well, great. She took action, even if she had to get it on the replay, which they're all kind of on the replay at this point. But the fact that she saw how valuable she was and really understanding those archetypes, right? Those of you who listened to Alexis and she explained those archetypes, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about what you learned in that session? Is it just something you're going to pile back in? You know, we just keep piling things in and in and in. But what are you really going to do about it? It's my question to you today. Kippy Fleur wrote for Amy Bradbury's session, the quicker you know and claim your own narrow niche, the happier and more successful you will be. Perfect. That's so true. Camille Mitchell for Shannon Cherry. Shannon, your webinar session today on the what, when, where, and how of obtaining sponsors was outstanding. What a premier education and service you are providing. So she got the what, when, where, and how. Now my question to her, if she was sitting here with me, would be, what are you going to do about it? Right? How are you going to take that outstanding information and implement it in a way that is going to serve your business, serve your clients, serve your goals, serve your vision, serve your revenue? What are you going to do about it? Right? And that's what I want you to see with all of these. And there were 1,100 posts, 1,100, meaning 1,100 takeaways, 1,100 ahas, 1,100 ideas and opportunities to grow your business and really get into a space that allows you to go to that next level. Martha Gerber Communications. Well, hey, yay, Martha, celebrating your our first person in the Implementers Club, so that's very cool. It's very liberating that things don't have to be perfect, just done. Online marketing seems like it has to be perfect, but done is better than perfect. She got that from Pam Ivy. So I love that. That's a great takeaway. That's a great mindset shift, right? We hear the saying, good is good enough. Well, good is good enough. Of course, I like to follow that up with a little bit of spirit of excellence, right? So good is good enough in the spirit of excellence. We'll go there. And then Patty Dews says for Louboutin, really like the reinforcement regarding how simple to go with the equipment. I just switched from PC to Mac, looking forward to working with iMovie. So, you know, video doesn't have to be crazy difficult, right? You can choose the simple technologies. I love that. It may be a revenue stream that you're considering and you had kind of backburned it because you thought the technology was going to be just too much of a crazy headache, and now you realize, hey, wait a minute, I might need to look at this again. There's an opportunity here. Lou said it's not that difficult. And my question to you is, are you going to do that? Have you done that? What is your plan for doing that? What is your plan for implementing that new strategy, implementing that new technology, you know, setting up that new product or service based on, you know, what you've learned throughout the training, throughout the summit. And then Kim Hauser-Sterry says, oh my gosh, did someone else feel it? That huge mind shift? Of course, we were talking about Michael Port, right? I think anyone who watched that video recognizes that huge mind shifts going on there. They need us more. Thanks, Michael Port. I really needed to hear that. I think that will make me come from a place of more confidence, that the clients are out there and they need you. And not only do they need you to step up big time. Step into it, take ownership of it, have that confidence, get it done, right? So I love these ahas. I loved all the ahas. I actually was the person retweeting, and we have other people on the team that could do that, but in all actuality, I wanted to see what you guys are saying. I wanted to see what was landing with people, what was really, what were you taking away? What were you excited about? What was shifting things for you? So I didn't delegate that out. I kept that on my plate and really enjoyed just reading through all the various comments for all of our speakers and all of the love that you guys poured out to our speakers. I mean, it was amazing, the love that you all were showing and really just grabbing hold of what they were saying. You know, there's nothing more powerful for a speaker or for an educator or for a trainer than when we can see that what we're sharing is really taking hold. That what we're saying is really making a difference, right? Making a difference. That we're having an opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, in their business, in their success. And so seeing those posts and really seeing how the ahas that you were taking away could potentially make a difference for your business. And I say could potentially make a difference because the truth is many of us have gone from conference to workshop to webinar to teleclass to training to things we've paid for to things that were free to things we invested heavily in to things that we barely invested in. And in all actuality, it has all kind of got layered up on our shelves, right? We just put things on our shelves. Well, I'll use that later. I'll think about that later. Best of intentions, notebooks full of notes that you know that if you were just to go back and grab 10% of what was in those notes, man alive, it would really shift everything that you're doing. But we don't, right? I mean, I'm guilty. A lot of times we simply just don't. We get caught up in the grind. We get caught up in the, this is how I always do it, this is how I've always done it, I can't think about that right now, you don't understand what's on my plate, you don't understand how much I've got to get done, you know, I don't even know where I would fit in the things that I need to do to make a difference. I don't even know where I'd fit them in. And we all have that. I'm guilty, totally 100% guilty. Tina's guilty. I'll just throw her out there with me. We're both guilty. We know what this is. We understand that you can get the biggest ahas. You can get the biggest opportunities to shift your business. You can get the absolute know-how and still go on with your day just like you always have, right? The sad truth to that is ultimately we still just get the desire. I mean, we still just get the results that we've always gotten. So if you want a different result, and I dare say that if you're here today or if you're watching this video or you're a part of our community, you're a part of our community because you want a different result than the one you're getting right now. If you didn't want a different result, you would not feel a need to follow people. You would not feel a need to find teachers and mentors and coaches and people who can inspire you and encourage you. If you were fine with the results you were getting, you would not be searching for something else. So it's obvious that you want a different result, right? So how do we get that different result? Because the truth is, information is not hard to receive. It's not. It's very easy. All you have to do is wake up and turn your ears on. You can just receive information after information after information after information, right? But execution of that information feels almost unattainable. Feels almost unattainable. You think, wow, I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do this, and this person said this, or this person's doing that, and wow, that's a great idea, and that really landed with me, and you just heard 1,100 ahas people took away. But what are we going to do that's different? What are we going to do that's actually going to make a difference in our business? Because I can assure you, sitting here listening to me talk, sitting and listening to Michael Port talk, sitting and listening to Tina talk, sitting and listening to all of our amazing speakers talk, is not going to change not one thing in your business. It's not. Listening to us is not going to change anything about the way that you become successful. The only thing that makes a difference is if we get in there and we do something different. If we do something different. So I imagine you have your own personal list of ahas, that you have topics that you want to learn more about, that you know that the conference or the summit has really actually confronted some mindset beliefs for you. And we're going to confront a few more of those even today. But I would imagine that you've even been confronted a little bit with some varying mindset beliefs as you go through this. And then, of course, you know, you may have a list of technologies you want to try. Lead pages. Somebody was talking about lead pages. I think it was Bob and Tina were talking about lead pages. You know, we love lead pages. And it's super easy. So go try it. Go check it out, right? Get it done. Get in there and make something happen for yourself there. But, you know, we've sat through these teachings and we've gotten the same result. And honestly, it kind of ticks you off a little bit, right? It ticks me off. I'll go to a conference and I'll have all these notes and I'll come back and I'll find myself like a week later going, man, I haven't even opened that notebook. I haven't even opened it. I don't even remember what I just learned. I was sitting in this conference thinking, oh my gosh, my world just got turned upside down, inside out. you know, my life will never be the same again because of this amazing revelation that I just received in this business conference. And then bam, I'm back in my office, sitting with my coffee, doing my thing, have not even opened that life-changing, business-changing, you know, revelatory, set my world on fire notebook to find out what I needed to implement. And I know I'm not the only one, so I'm not going to sit here and feel like I am. Y'all ain't going to make me feel that way. I know you're doing it too. I know we're all doing it. So what if you and I actually became strategic in implementing everything we received from the summit? What if we got super strategic about it? Purposeful, right? What if you challenged your limiting beliefs about the work you're created to do and the value that you bring to the table? What if you start to take on those limiting beliefs? Like, make the decision today. I am not going to believe this way any longer. It does not serve me, it does not serve my business, and it does not serve my clients. You know, what if you grab hold of what Alexis and Amy were talking about with building, you know, legal and financially smart businesses so that you can exceed every revenue goal, structured in a way that continues to allow you to be successful? I mean, what if you really grab hold of that information? What's going to happen if you do? You know, what if you really take in all that Michael Port shared around what clients are looking for and how desperate they are for us to jump in? I mean, Michael Port is, you know, his reach is wide, right? And he has spoken to thousands of business owners through the years. And if he's saying they need you, they want you, show up like this, and you will have a whole boatload of them, what if you actually believe him, right? What if you actually believe that? Because the truth is, the only thing holding us back from these what ifs is our willingness. Our willingness to make the commitment to ourselves to do what needs to get done, to really implement these changes, and become who we need to become in our businesses to generate the success that we desire, right? So how do we do this? 3 easy steps in 30 days, right? There's never anything easy about change. So I want to tell you that I want to give you 3 realistic, take to heart, make happen steps, right? I don't want to tell you that it's all going to be easy because I feel like I might be leading you astray there a little bit. Sometimes when we have to deal with internal mindsets, things that have been there forever, the way we've always done it, habits, it's not always easy. But if you will take into account the 3 steps that I'm going to share with you today, I promise you in 30 days, you'll have a different type of business. And beyond you having a different type of business, you're going to be a different type of business owner, which is really the key, right? You being a different type of business owner. So step number 1 is conscious awareness. The first thing I want you to really do to support your shifts, your changes, your decisions is get honest with yourself, right? Let's just get honest with ourselves. I don't like some of the clients that I work for. They get on my nerves. I think that they are idiots. Now, of course, I only work with Tina, so I can't say that because Tina's not an idiot. But get honest with yourself. I want to make $5,000 a month, and I'm barely making $500 a month. Why is this happening? Well, have you created a plan? Are you really getting honest with why you're not building, why you're not doing the things? I doubt very seriously it's a matter of you don't know what to do, right? Because I've been around this industry a while. I've played this game for a while. And the truth of the matter is, most of the time we know what to do. We're just not doing it. We're just saying, you got that whole notebook full of stuff that is life-blowing, world-changing, you know, set your world on fire, make it happen, going to blow up your entire, you know, existence, and you won't bother to open the notebook and read the notes. So we usually know what needs to happen, but we've got to get really consciously aware of what it is we want, how we want it, What are we willing to do to get it, right? It's going to cost you something. Now, it's a really inexpensive cost if you decide to be one of our founding members of the Implementers Club plug, right? That's an inexpensive cost. That's $97 a month. Get great, amazing support, right? But it's going to cost you some personal things too, right? You're going to have to look at yourself. You're going to have to make some decisions about who you are. Who are you being? What does that look like? How is that showing up in your business? You really need to get clear on your fears. So conscious awareness is really all about bringing into the reality the truth. Because we're very, we can say, well, I really want to build this multi-VA team. I can see all the pieces. I know exactly what needs to happen. But, I don't think I have the time to mentor and nurture people the way that Chelsea was talking about. Well, why don't you? Do you really want it? Do you want this? Is this really what your plan is? Or do you really want to just hold on to your fears, allow your excuses to nurture your inability to grow? Now, some of you don't know me that well, and I get that. You all know Tina. She's all nice, and sometimes I'm not very nice. I don't mean to be mean, but I want to be honest with you. We're allowing our excuses to stay in our little comfort zone to stop us from being the business owners that in our hearts we truly desire to be. We're allowing all of the things that have kept us small to keep us small, right? But all these speakers throughout the summit, they're telling you what it takes to go big. They're telling you what it, and big as implementers isn't big as Tina's and Michael Port's, right? Big as implementers is working with clients that we love to work with, getting personal satisfaction from doing the work that we're doing and knowing that we're offering a service, offering a product, offering implementation that is, done with excellence, and that you didn't rush and you didn't do bittering resentment and frustrations and bitterness because the client gets on your nerves, and you're not doing it making yourself crazy and extending all your boundaries. Conscious awareness is all about you being really purposeful. What do I want? Who do I want to do this with? What is holding me back? Sometimes we won't get rid of a client that's driving us crazy because we're scared we can't replace that income. That's a lie we tell ourselves, because the same as that client showed up, another one will. But we tell ourselves these things to keep us in these boxes that ultimately are not serving us. And then we get comfortable in this lie that we tell ourselves that don't allow us to go big, and then we begin to just make the excuses for why we don't have what we want. Don't come to me with an excuse telling me you're not making $5,000 a month because you don't know where clients are at. I'm going to be like, BS. Clients are everywhere, right? It's just a matter of, are you really clear on who you want to work with? What do you want to do? How do you want to work with that person? So the conscious awareness is really about asking yourself a couple of questions to ensure that you're being really truthful with yourself when it comes to, what do you want to do? Why are you not doing it? What fear is there? What excuse is there? What's coming up for you that is holding you into that comfort space and not allowing you to expand into the place you really want to be, right? So ask yourself these three questions. One is this true to what I actually desire for myself? So if you are in the middle of an opportunity and all of a sudden a fear comes up, well, I could really take on that big project, but I don't know this X system. I don't know this X technology. I've never worked in that technology before. So maybe I shouldn't, maybe I shouldn't apply for this particular role, or maybe I shouldn't answer this RFP. And you have that fear come up, right? So ask yourself, is this true to what I actually desire for myself? Is it true that you desire to be stopped by what you don't know? Is that true for you? You want to be stopped by what you simply don't know? I can't believe that it is if you're in this industry, because we all started out not knowing, right? We all started out with the, okay, I don't have any idea, and now I do. I've learned it. I tackled it. I tried it. I was good at it. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. I mastered Infusionsoft. Woohoo! Right? So we all come into those moments, but we'll let that thing stop us that says, well, I don't know that technology. What do I do? Ask yourself, is it true to what you desire for yourself? Do you desire to be stopped because you don't know something? How can I align this reality with what I do desire? Ask yourself that. Okay, I don't know this technology, but how can I align this with what I really desire? I can make a commitment to learn the technology. I can reach out to a community that already knows the technology. I can go read their free tutorials. You'd be amazed at what you can learn if you'll just go to the help desk of any technology, right? Now you're aligning it with what you desire. You're not allowing that fear of not knowing to stop you at this point. You've come into a conscious awareness that that fear rose up, you put it back down in its place, and now you're aligning the opportunity with what you really desire. And then secondly, I want you to say, what tool, resource, or support do I need to overcome this obstacle? What do you need? You know, do you need to reach out to your mentor group? Do you need to take that training? You know, look at that and ask yourself those 3 questions. Is this true to what I really desire for myself? And see what comes up for you. 9 times out of 10, there will be, you know, that fear will come up, that insecurity will come up, that excuse will come up. Well, I'm going to have to work too hard. I don't want to work that hard. Well, honey, if you don't want to work that hard, you're not going to be that successful. I hate to share that with you, but that's just the truth. Right? So don't let that come up. And plus, it's a lie. You're already working hard. You're already busting your butt. So why not bust it for things that you really want and to have your business the way that you really desire it to be? So the goal here is to never give yourself the excuse to not believe in yourself, to not get what you want, to not go after it, right? So that, I mean, really step 1 is conscious awareness. And the reason why I wanted to start with that is because if we don't know what we want and we don't know what's stopping us, it's not, none of the rest of what I have to say is going to matter. Because you're just going to stay in that place of, well, I don't really know what I want and things are stopping me, but I'm not really that connected with what's stopping me. So, I mean, we can go in to talk about vision. We can talk about planning. We can talk about strategy. But if you can't get to this point of being really honest with yourself to why your business is either as successful as it is or not as successful as it is, none of these other steps are going to make any difference. They're just going to be me talking and yakking, and you're going to be like, oh, I like the way she talks. That Southern accent. You know, but it's not going to change the outcome of your results. And in this particular webinar, what we're doing today, this is about changing the outcome of your results. It's not about status quo. It's not about, oh, well, that made me feel great. I have a great another, I'm going to tweet this aha out. Woohoo! And then come Monday morning, you're right back at the same desk doing the exact same thing with the exact same clients with the exact same outcome. Don't let that happen, right? I want to connect with you in a couple of weeks. I want to connect with you in 30 days. I want to connect with you in 6 months. And I want you to say, Tiffany, you know what? I made a decision that day on that webinar to not let that happen. So I got really clear with myself. I got really truthful with myself. Because if you do, I promise you, you can make the changes that you want to make. I know, because I've done it. Because I was stay-at-home mom all the way to, you know, coaching 7-figure business owners at this point. And every single step in between. I have to learn things the hard way. It's just my way. But anyway, so next is step 2. Or we're still in conscious awareness. So seeing is believing. So the second thing I want you to do after you get really clear with yourself is I want you to go out there and just study people who are doing what you want to do. Because seeing is believing, right? When you can see that someone else can be successful in the exact same way that you want to be successful, bam. It takes out all the fears. It starts taking the excuses on. Because all of a sudden you think, Well, if that person can do it, why can't I do it? I know they're not smarter than me, right? We all got a little bit of ego. It's okay. So ego's not a bad thing. And so, when you begin to study and research out and follow other people who are doing exactly what you want to be doing, but doing it a little bit better than you're doing it because they're the people that are being followed and you're the person following. So let's be honest, right? This is all about being honest with ourselves. Then when you see that, it will really empower you. And I hope that it even just takes you off a little bit, right? Tina always talks about one of the motivators for her is if, we're talking about, okay, well, do we want to do this program? Do we want to do that program? We could create this, we could create that. And one of the motivators for her is, she'll be like, well, how mad am I going to be if I see somebody else out there doing it? So how frustrated are you when you see someone out there being hugely successful in your unique genius, in your skill set, in your talent, and you're sitting there with excuses? How frustrated are you about that? That would frustrate me. That does frustrate me. It is what motivates me and catapults me to keep learning, keep growing, and keep pressing in and keep getting over myself so that I can go beyond myself, right? And then connect with your why every day. This is the last part of conscious awareness, is really connecting with your why. Why do you want what you want? Why is it important to you? Why is it going to make a difference? Why is it not going to make a difference? Like if you never attain it, does it matter? So, really getting clear on these type things, on these particular mindsets, on these particular areas of what stops us. Until you get clear on these, until you get purposeful to stay in conscious awareness, confront your fears and your excuses. Get out there and start seeing how other people are being successful, and you can be just as successful. There's no reason you can't. Right? And surrounding yourself with people who are going to motivate you in that. And then really getting clear with your why. Really getting clear. Do you care if you're making a difference in the world? Is that why you're here? Are you here because you want to add an extra income to your family? Are you here because you have a desire to be successful in business and you can see a business and an opportunity and your why is you really just want to see it happen? Are you here because you know that you have a gift to put into the world and you would bust if you couldn't give that gift to the world? Like, why are you here? Why are you doing this business? Why did you choose this particular way to fulfill your purpose? Get clear on that. Keep that why in front of you all the time. That why should actually out-motivate all of your fears, all of your insecurities, right? It should out-motivate everything else. When I started my business, I would say, my big why for business, the reason why I did it the way that I did it was because when my clients were successful, I was successful. And I wanted to be successful, right? I wanted to feel that success. I'm married to an engineer. He built a big career for himself, and I was a stay-at-home wife, didn't go to college, all these things. And so I was like, I need to feel successful. I need to have this sense of accomplishment in my life. And so my big why was, well, the more I could make my clients successful, the more successful I was. I kept that in front of me all the time. Like every time I would get, I don't know this technology, or I need to take on this project, or I have to lay out this telesummit or video summit or whatever it was that was like so big for me, I would just remind myself, well, the only way I'm going to be successful is if I make this successful. That's my why. I was very connected to it. So I encourage you to get connected to your why. Get connected to your why. So step number 2 is build it, right? So we just talked about believe it. Believe it is really getting into the mindset of conscious awareness, seeing it because other people are doing it, you can do it, and really recognizing your why behind it. Step number 2 is build it. Build it. Build it is all about a vision, right? You can't build what you don't have a vision for. You can't. You can only build what you have a vision for. And then secondly, once you have that vision, to really create the plan around it. So these are like the how-to steps. So the build it part is how-to. How do we do this? Once I've gotten consciously aware and I know exactly what I want, how do I make this happen? Right? And I always say that, you know, a contractor doesn't show up to build a house on a raw piece of land. Just picture a raw piece of, you know, the woods. That contractor is not going to show up and just grab his little shovel and say, okay, it's time to build a house. Let's just get in there and start, you know, digging ourselves a foundation out. He's going to have a blueprint drawn up by an architect. So there's a plan. Then he's going to create a punch list and a materials list, and there's all the various elements that go into building this house that happens long before we ever show up on that raw piece of land. Not to mention the testing of the land and ensuring that the soil is right and that the water perks right and all of that stuff that goes into it too, right? So you've got the vision, which is, hey, I want this house, right? I saw this house online. I really like it. And then from there, the blueprint's got to be laid out, and all the testing has to be done, and all the pieces have got to be laid out that need to be accomplished, and all the materials have got to be ordered, and the crews have got to be scheduled, and every element that goes in between, right? And that all happens before you ever even hit the land. So many times we are showing up in our businesses with this hairy-fairy, hey, I'm just going to serve clients and this is what I like to do. And from there, we are running into our land. So we are basically running up on that piece of forest with a shovel in hand, right? Because we got a laptop so we can work where we want to and do what we want to do there. We got our shovel in hand and we just start scooping. Scooping and tossing, scooping and tossing, scooping and tossing. And we are working ourselves to death. But that is no way to build a house. I really hope you're getting what I'm saying to you here. You may be working yourself to death in your business right now, but that is no way to build your business. You need to have a vision, a clear vision of what you are creating. It needs to have all of the walls in place and the roof, and you need to know what type of exterior you're going to put up and what type of interior you want. And then from there, you've got to be able to create a plan that is going to systematically get you the results that you desire. Because it would do no good to show up on that raw piece of land and start laying out the framing of the house if there are trees in the middle of it. Right? You can't lay out the framing of the house if the land hasn't been cleared. You can't lay out the foundation if you haven't marked it off and you don't, I mean, what are you going to do? Just pour some concrete and wherever it lands, well, hey, that looks like a good foundation to me. But that's what we're doing with our businesses, right? That's what we're doing. We're just showing up and really not having that clear plan in place that's going to take all of those ahas, all of the things you want to create, and really systematically, purposefully implement them into your business to get you the results you desire. So without this plan in place, could you imagine what a house that's being built without a blueprint, without foundational framing? Like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about igloos. I guess you could put an igloo up anywhere or a mud hut up anywhere, but I don't know about you. I don't want my business to be a mud hut, right? I don't want it to be an igloo. I want my business to be a masterpiece mansion in which I am building a legacy for myself, for my clients, for my family, you know, for my children. I have a 14-year-old son that I know within the next 2 years will be implemented into my business. And, you know, I'm passing a legacy over to him. I'm passing a legacy onto my 16-year-old daughter who, you know, she now knows that no matter what it is she desires to create in this world, she can create it. Why? Because Mom did. Mom created exactly what she wanted. I'm not handing my kids an igloo. Right? I'm handing them something purposeful. And so I'm speaking to you like this because I want you to create something purposeful and hand that away. And then thirdly, for build it, is you have to commit. Like, you've got to make the commitment. This, I really like it. I wish I had that. You know, my big dream, my big desire. I really wish what? What are you committed to? What are you going to invest? What are you willing to do? Period. What are you committed to? Right? Because honestly, my guess is you've laid out some pretty good visions and you've laid out some pretty decent plans. And year after year, you pull out that plan. No, don't laugh at me. I mean, I know people 10 years later in this business pulling out the same stinking plan. Well, this is my vision for my business. Well, how long has that been your vision? For 10 years. And how much of it have you accomplished? 20%. Well, that's a great plan. Now, what are you committed to? How have you shown up and committed to yourself to execute this plan so that you can accomplish it? Because what you've got laid out that you've been staring at for 10 years, I could have got done in 12 months. So what is your commitment level? Because everything we've learned in this summit can absolutely be integrated in your business. Every takeaway, every aha. Get on Twitter and just do a the search for the hashtag for the summit and see what all of those takeaways were. The truth of the matter is, all of those can be implemented in your business if they pertain to you. If you want to go back through the videos, if you bought the recording and you're going to go back through the videos, all of that can be integrated in your business in 30 days. You can literally get your plan in place to implement those things, but if you don't commit to executing what it is that you feel like needs to happen, you'll be sitting on the next webinar, sitting on the next telesummit, sitting on the next whatever, right? All excited, yeah, I can do it, I can do it. Then come Monday morning, back in the grind. It's just a commitment. I mean, once you have your vision, once you have your plan, it's a commitment. Now, if you're building a house, you know what that commitment is? You go and you sign a big part of your life away on a mortgage. So you're pretty doggone committed that that house is going to be built, right? Because you just signed away your life. If you've ever bought a house, you know, you just signed your life away for that thing. So that's a pretty big commitment. But what kind of commitment are you really making to yourself and your business? What kind of commitment are you making to the vision of your business? What kind of commitment are you making to executing the plan you've laid out for your business? Because if we don't get up every day and do what we have to do to build the business that we desire, no one else is going to do that. Your clients are not going to build your business the way you want it. They're just not. You have to do it. And it's so easy a lot of times to do this stuff for our clients, right? It's so easy to see what our client's business needs, and we'll commit to that, and we'll get in there and we'll do it, and we're faithful to ensure that we're serving our clients at this level. If they need to make a change, if something needs to get done, if something needs to be planned, we're faithful to our clients this way. But oh, how hard is it? How hard is it to do this for ourselves? It is like pushing through the mud, right? It's like, I don't know if you've ever done a mud run. I don't really like mud or running, either one, but so I haven't figured that out at all. But my husband did a mud run last year. And at one point in time, they had to go through this pond in which animals, were a part of that, and they had to push through this mud, and I don't even want to imagine what else was in that pond, and get to the other side of it as a part of this mud run. And it was dirty, and the stench, I mean, I cannot even begin to express to you the stench in which going through that mud was, and what he smelled like when he was done with that mud run. But I'll tell you that in comparison to what it's like to get up, show up, and do what we need to do for our business, a lot of times it's like going through that mud run, right? It's like pushing through the hard, out of breath, I'm sucking up whatever is in this funky pond scenario to get done what we have to get done in our businesses to really support the vision that we have. And there's such a huge commitment in that. There's such a huge commitment in that. So, if we don't do it, then what we do is we end up just guilting ourselves. You know, we know what needs to get done. I went to the telesummit. I know what needs to get done. We know what needs to get done. But so often we just end up guilting ourselves because we haven't done it, right? Which also just stops us in our tracks. That also stops us in our tracks. So most of the time when I'm mentoring a client or growing their business, they almost always know what needs to get done, and it's just a matter of committing to it, right? So step 2 is building it. For building it is really being able to lay out that vision, lay out that plan, and then committing to what you're creating. You can do all of this in 90 days. I didn't lay this down as a day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, do this. Because I want you to know that everything that needs to happen for your business, for you to have a different type of business come day 31, literally will happen when you make the decision for it to. When you make the commitment to do the things that we've talked about here. And then the last part is the bring it part. The bring it part. And that's really all about who are you being? Who are you showing up as every day in your business? Are you being strong, decisive, confident? Are you tired, burnt out, overwhelmed? Are you indecisive, distracted, shiny object syndrome? Are you focused? Are you clear? And are you purposeful? Who are you showing up as? Because whoever you're showing up as is exactly what you're going to get from your business. So and I'm not talking about what you're doing. I'm not talking about your task. I'm talking about who are you being? And how is that supporting what you really desire? Are you complaining about everything? Because if you're complaining, you're probably not going to be motivated to get new clients. You're not going to be motivated to implement a new strategy. You're not going to be motivated to create a new product, create a new service. So who are you being? Because the truth of the matter is we all want to make money. We all want to build revenue. We all want to grow businesses that are strong. And some of us are and some of us are not. And what is the difference there? I promise you the difference is not whether or not you know a certain technology. The difference is who are you being when you show up in your business. People who are being successful, people who have successful businesses are showing up successful in their business every single day. People who want successful businesses are showing up however they feel like showing up. Right? So who are you showing up as in your business? One of the things that I wrote in here is you must lead yourself to success. Success will not lead you to yourself. And so when I'm talking about who I'm being, I really want you to grab hold of that. You have to lead yourself to success. You have to bring it from an internal to an external space. Success will not lead you to yourself. Stop thinking that when I get this ideal client, or when I'm generating that amount of money, or when I'm doing this, or when I'm doing that, or when this happens, or when that happens, well, then I'll put structure in my business. Then I will, schedule my time out a certain way. Then I will, let me just get that ideal client, then I will. Let me just start generating that revenue, then I'll be this. Then I'll show up as that. Because the truth of the matter is, if you don't lead yourself to success right now, no clients, no product, no website, whatever you have none of that you're concerned about, if you don't lead yourself to success in the state that you're in right now, success will not lead you to yourself. You will not become a different person simply because you have an ideal client. You are not going to function differently in your business because you're making $5,000 a month opposed to $500 a month. That's not going to change you. But you have the power to change it. You have the power to change whether or not you're working with ideal clients. Show up that way now. Show up that way now. So I want to leave you with this because I'm not going to go big into the bring it, believe it, because I think I've really driven that home already. If you want to transform your business in 30 days, you can. You can. You can implement what you have to implement. You can do this. But you must become consciously aware of what's holding you back. You got to start taking on those things. You must be crystal clear on your vision and your plan of action. Exactly what are you going to do to get where you want to go? And you must show up as your best every single day. Show up as your best every single day. Who are you being? Show up as your best every single day. And a great reminder and a quote I heard from Tina years ago that still kicks my butt. And I'm telling you, this quote has whooped my tail for years and it is still whooping my tail. And that is basically how you do anything is how you do everything. Right? So how you choose to run your business right now, who you're showing up being, the success that you desire, whether or not you implement the new tactics, the new truths, the new mindsets, the new skill sets that you've learned, whether you do any of that is based on how you do everything, right? It's how you do anything is how you do everything.
Hey, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I got booted off and on there, so I just wanted to jump in because I know we're pretty much at the 90-minute mark with everyone here, but I wanted to share just based on what you had said there too, and for everyone on the call. I love this. I just saw this message here from Cora this morning, who I know has been with us live today. I know Cora's joined the club. Woohoo! I'm so excited. But I want to share with you this idea of how you do anything is how you do everything, because Cora had posted with us on Facebook here earlier today, I think maybe just right before our session actually, is that, and I'm just reading directly what she shared here on Facebook. Tina, I've enjoyed every moment of the summit. Thank you. Believe it or not, I've been working this summit around an emergency within my house. Sewer backup, water everywhere, 5 people show up to check for damage, rip up carpets, plumbers, insurance guys, 3 major rooms to be packed up, etc. And even with all of that going on, this summit was heaven for me. It was my oasis away from problems. My mind had a chance to relax, and etc. Right? I got to receive what I was looking for my business. And I love this because what Cora's really saying there is that it doesn't matter what the heck's going on around us. It doesn't matter what appears to maybe be getting in the way or trying to stop us or whatever that might be. At the end of the day, it's just a choice. Your success is ultimately a choice for you. And so I'm really excited for all of you, and just the fact that you're a part of this summit, just the fact that you're taking steps to put you and your business first, just the fact that whether you join us in the club or not, the club will get to continue the community and the connection and everything that we've created here already in the summit. That's going to continue very purposefully in the club with a group of people who are as committed as you are. That's exactly what we're creating there. And I really just want to honor the fact that this stuff isn't always easy. It's not always simple. It's not always going to land in our laps, but with every step we take, despite, maybe our house flooding around us or whatever shows up for each of us along the way, that I just really want to honor every time you do take that step. Because we know and get that it's not the easiest and simplest thing in the world with this too. So we are going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up, everyone. My goodness. This has been amazing. Again, we've seen a number of you joining the club already, which we're really, really excited about. And regardless of how we continue to be connected, whether it's kind of officially continuing the journey through the club or otherwise, it's been a real honor to have you be a part of this community with us. It's been a real honor to have you join us and to get to support your growth and to get to bring some amazing people together for you. I do want to give a final kind of huge thanks and shout out to all the speakers and all the people who joined us for the duration of this summit. I mean, really, every single person that I reached out to and asked and said, hey, would you be willing to do this? They said yes without hesitation. And I know that you've all received, that was my intent from the very first session, is for you to get that nugget, 1 or 2 or however many things you need to help you move forward. And just know that with the right support, the right community around you, when you plug yourself in to what you need and you purposely step out and say, here's where I'm headed, here's what I want to create, here's what I'm owning about myself, I'm owning my brilliance, I'm going to serve my clients, this is how I'm going to do it, and you get to bring those together in this way, then there's no end to the possibilities of what you can create for yourself and your business. And so I was going to say virtual cheers. All I have is a coffee cup. Cheers. Clink. Maybe not that exciting, but a little early in the day, maybe to get started on a glass of wine or a bottle of water, whatever you have. Cheers. Consider this a virtual cheers for everyone here. Tiffany and I are excited and thrilled to see you there in the club. If you choose to join and be a founding member there of the club, we're going to continue this discussion. We're going to continue this journey. It's going to be awesome. And big hugs to everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.